Sync in it. All right, welcome everyone to the podcast once again. I am excited to welcome Gaurav Jaggi today.
Hi Aditya, so nice to be here.
Welcome, Gaurav. So I'll give a brief introduction about Gaurav for those of who you don't know him. Gaurav is an entrepreneur who runs multiple business. He has Riddle, where they launch games and gaming tools end to end, and he is also an SEO expert. And he has been ranking micro, niche, and affiliate sites for over 13 years now. So like he has a lot of experience in that field too. And through blog with Jags, he has been an inspiration to many successful bloggers and people who are in the field of SEO. And out of passion, he has also been running his training ranks with Jags, where he teaches about SEO and how you can dominate on Google. So he has a deep SEO expertise. He had been ranking some of the most competitive keywords and generated millions in revenue. And I'm thrilled to have Gaurav here on our podcast. And here today we will try to get his insights on this field, as well as we will try to get about his knowledge in business and actual SEO fundamentals. So let's begin. Welcome, Gaurav. We are very honored to have you here on the podcast.
I mean, thank you so much. When your friend Sohail invited me, I just went to your YouTube channel, and I honestly just saw one video, and there I just saw a young, confident guy who was, asking questions, who knew what he was doing, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. I liked you, and in the first glance, I was like, yeah, let's do it. It'll be fun.
All right, thank you so much for that. It really means a lot. Let's start with the questions. Basically, first, I want a overview about your life and your experiences and everything. So, like, see, you have an extensive background in SEO from like 13 years and so, and you have been ranking so many websites. You have been working with so many keywords and all, and you generated so much in revenue from that, but you still decided to come into education and you still decided to teach people about SEO. So like how did this passion of teaching start, and how did your journey with SEO start in general?
Hmm. So I'll tell you, basically, yeah, I have been in this field for the last 13 years, and I am 30. So I started when I was just 17, right? I mean, now there are people, there are youngsters who start as young as 12 or 13. There's no there's no age, but I started out of a sheer need to make money. So my my dad, my parents. They come from a financially, like hand to mouth kind of situation. So my dad has done like jobs in import export sector, but he was not very regular because he met a couple of accidents, and then my mom was taking care of me, taking care of him, and still she was like doing a job in a hospital as a receptionist, and she was knitting sweaters and socks. I'm like right now wearing one of her woolen socks. So
Mhm.
my need for making money came purely out of helping my parents, and helping myself. So when I was in my 12th standard, my English teacher, she told me that there's this lady who needs articles, who wants to get some people to write articles for them. So I was like, okay. My dad actually taught me about grammar and about tenses when I was very young, and
Mhm.
so I was good at writing. So I started writing, and that time I was being paid like, honestly, 50 rupees per article for a 500 words article. But getting that start, I talked to one of my other friends who was in the same field even earlier than me, from ninth standard, and we were studying together. He helped me with the details, and then uh, based on a little bit of experience, I got some foreign clients, USA, UK. There was a person called Stephen Avila. Special mention to him because he was running a digital agency, and he hired me as a writer. I wrote. I bought my first smartphone. Then I bought an iMac, a MacBook, and I bought. You know, I started paying my own college fees. Basically, I'm from NIT Kurukshetra, so
Mhm.
but I was not satisfied. I was like, yeah, I'm making like $2,000 to $3,000 a month from writing, but why am I doing it for somebody who's making the same amount in a day, right? That's when I learned about blogging, about blogs, about SEO, and I have a, I have a special skill of connecting with people. I connected with my clients on a very personal level. They actually uh, started taking my doubts about SEO. I learned, I experimented. I also made a couple of failed blogs, and that's how my journey actually started. It was purely out of the need for money, but then it turned into my passion. When I was in my third year in NIT Kurukshetra, I dropped out because honestly, it was not because NIT is a bad college or because nobody should do a degree. I mean, go for a degree, learn coding. It's a great skill to have in in this world. But I was more interested on the business side of things. I sold a couple of websites in 2013 again. Took that boot money, started a small office in Gurgaon, and uh, and then I slowly built my career. When I was 24, I'm very happy to share that I was able to buy my mom her own home in Gurugram. So that was a very happy moment for me because it was like she's been sacrificing so much for the past 24 years of my life, and I could finally pay her a little bit, back. So, and yeah, it's been 6 to 7 years, and we have done a lot, and it's all because I always want to learn more. I always want to explore more. I want to improve my strategies. I want to learn from everyone. I want to learn from you. I want to learn from my mentors. I want to ask them questions. Connect with them, and yeah, that's how it started. Coming to rank with Jax, which is my SEO training. Uh, After being in this field for full 10 years, right? I saw and I've met so many people who want to get a job in a company, right? They get a degree from from some certified courses in Delhi, Noida, and they want to. But what we know is their SEO concepts are like 5 to 10 years old. The techniques like directory submissions, irrelevant forums, social bookmarking, they don't work anymore. So I I was like, there's definitely a gap in the market. There's definitely a help that people need, right? And that's what I was like, okay, I've completed my 10 years. Now it's time to give back a little to the community. And that's when I started Rank with X. And yeah, we have had amazing results. I mean, if somebody who has like grinded himself so much in SEO, experimented, made so many mistakes, and then went through so many algorithm updates, start teaching, that produces real results, man. And that's why Rank with X, we have so much love and respect from people.
All right, that's a very nice story. Especially, I can relate so much with it. Whenever I talk to someone, unka main reason is I was always passionate about it or I had a past with it. But even for myself, the reason I do things is for money, and it is just my love for money. And for me, the explanation is simple. Does the billionaire in China who has a cement factory, is he passionate about cement? No, right? But he's still making money. So it definitely does make a lot of sense, and I could relate. Plus the fact that you were able to buy your mom a house, that is something you must be very proud of for sure. क्योंकि लोग कहते हैं कि तुम अपने मम्मी पापा का कभी भी एहसान नहीं चुका सकते. The 30, I am
I mean,
very inspired.
I mean, what my mom has done for me, she's extraordinary. I mean, how I got my first laptop. She Because I told you, like, my dad was not able to make so much money. He was also going through some, a lot of anxiety in his life, and he met some accidents, major accidents. So my mom, she had like couple of gold bangles, and that was the only gold at the time that she could basically contain with herself. That She sold that gold bangles, and she got me my first laptop, right? And that's when I started like writing articles full time. Before that, I used to go to cyber cafes. So the kind of sacrifices that she has done for me, I mean, I can never repay them, but Yeah, I mean, to to do well in your career, I honestly believe that you must have a very good vibe with your parents, because you know you carry a DNA of your parents in you. So if you are not happy with them, or they are not happy with you, if you carry some kind of resentment towards them, I, that is that will stop you from being successful. And you see any successful person, you see they, you know, they will post pictures with their mom and their dad, and you know they always talk good about them. And that's why it's very important. I mean, I don't know if that's the direction where we want to take this podcast to. We are talking about
No,
SEO,
definitely feel
but
free to share your experiences. Even for me, I always say कि अगर you have the support of your mom and dad, you already have 21 people in your team, 10 your mom, 10 your dad, and one is you. So definitely a lot of experience that you're sharing with us is valuable. So feel free to go anywhere you want to with your story.
yeah.
Well, regarding this, after setting everything up, making so much money from SEO, even after that, you still launched Riddle. It is connected to gaming and SEO. So, like, what was the reason behind it? And, like, are you always into taking risks, taking new ventures, and getting into things which you feel even might be risky? But, like, what is the reason behind starting Riddle? What is it? Explain it to all the viewers, please.
Yeah, I think this is very important, and this is core business. We were talking about sentiments and emotions, you know, few seconds back, but now I'll talk about core business. Uh, when you know marketing, and when you don't have a product, you know, uh, when you love tech as much as I do, you know, I come from a tech background, purely, you know, NIT Kurukshetra. Uh, then making games, or making products, or making gaming products, uh, that's not different from your skills. That is a natural extension of your skill, right? So if I'm good at marketing, and if I can market my own product, if I can have my own community, if I, you know, it's like stepping up the stair. Who is in the top, who is in the bottom of the stair? The buyer, not making any money, only purchasing and spending their money, right? Of course they get value. Above that is the distributor,
Hmm.
right? Who go to the home, and they, you know, they hands over those product. Above the distributor comes the marketer and the branding person, you
Hmm.
know, who creates pamphlets, who create websites, bloggers,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But who comes on the top of the chain? Who owns the product? So
Hmm.
now if Amazon is paying me 3 to 4% commission for every product that I help them sell, right?
Hmm.
I have my own product, I can make 80%, 90% profit, right? That's why I always believe that if you have a strong marketing side, you need to, and you have to develop your product side, because product plus marketing. I'll tell you about my business partner Ankila. She
Hmm.
is she complements my skill, you know, in an amazing manner. I do technology, I can make tech loops, I can figure out problems. She can make amazing and creative UI and UX, you know,
Hmm.
she can make great US user interfaces. I can execute, she can see a vision, she can devise a vision, and I can go and execute like a bull, right? So when you have so many skills, when you have so much talent that has been gifted to you, and you are you know, you have to be fair to yourself, and you have to step up that ladder. And that's why we came up with Riddle. That's why we are coming up with you know, two games very soon, because everything is a natural extension of SEO and marketing, right?
All right, got it. So just like you told us, ki you have a lot of work, even with Riddle, Rank with Jags, you even have a blog post of your own. You must have a lot of work. So how do you manage to stay productive? How do you split your time between all of these things? Because all of them are very big right now. So how do you uh, manage everything?
Hmm. I I personally feel that I don't think of these as different companies or different ventures. Uh, I just feel that this is all a part of a big loop called making money. So when when I'm on my office table, I want to make money, right? And that's why I have these. task list in different areas, and whatever I want to feel like, I want to work on my websites in the next 2 hours, I work on them. One thing that I do is when I sit on a task, I don't let myself get distracted. It's very easy when you're doing five things at the same time. It's very easy that somebody will call you and then your focus is distracted, right? And focus is currency. Focus is the new currency. So I complete my task. I don't get up from my table unless I have completed it, and I have a beautiful support system around me. Like, uh, of course, my life partner, Ankila, she is like a mentor, a guide, my best friend. My mom, I mean, we have recently started getting this help from her, where because we are living in different apartments, so
Mhm.
she cooks food for me. She cooks food for the both of us, and every day she sends that food, or every other day she sends that food with a lot of love. That frees up a lot of our time, and most importantly, I don't let social media take my time. I mean, you might be thinking that he runs an SEO course on social media, so maybe he's busy in scrolling, answering people every right now and then. I have devoted 1 hour to all my emails and all my social media tasks. Apart from that, I try to not touch my phone. The kind of focus and the kind of productivity you will get when you get away from, like, when you are scrolling on Instagram, who is making money?
The
Of
creator.
course, the creator, the shareholders of Instagram, as well as somebody you are buying a product from, the ads and
Mhm.
the companies. So yeah, this they're like, I don't let myself be the product. That's what I do, and yeah, that's how I manage. That's how I manage my time, and that's how I'm trying to be productive.
Nice vision. Thank you so much. Even I have read it somewhere that you should just say no to consuming content, and you should only create it, because they want you to just consume the content, but it is not something that you want to do with your life. So makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Plus, along with it, like, you have a lot of students in rank with Jags. I think above 450 now.
Yes.
So around that, like, when you scaled it up, you must have faced a lot of challenges. uh, can you tell us about your experience with that, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I mean, to be very honest, languages has been a blessing.
Hmm.
We have never run an ad online, like like several people do, because of my experience, and because of being in the industry for so long. I know that I have inspired people, and purchasing this course from us, enrolling in languages, was natural to them. They when we basically 1.5 years back, when we posted about Rankage X, we had 53 registrations on day one, without any marketing, without, just with a single post, right?
Hmm.
So marketing has not been a challenge. The biggest challenge in this course is making people take action.
Hmm. Definitely.
Because why do people enroll in courses? Because they want to help their families, they want to help themselves, they want to help their future generations, they want to make money, right? But the problem
Hmm.
is, uh, we all live in a toxic environment. Like, most of us, we live in a toxic environment where there's a like lot of trauma dumping. Do you understand what's
Yeah.
trauma dumping? Right? If somebody is not happy with their life, they'll make sure that three more people are also unhappy with them, right?
Yeah, negativity is sticky. Even if you find a solution to that, it leaves behind that stain for sure.
Exactly. So the biggest challenge was actually not to get registrations or not to teach, but to basically make them take action. And that's why what we did was we introduced a Wednesday session every week, which was called personal growth session. So everybody who was really interested in making this course work would come to our sessions, and they would share their problems, why they are not able to take action, and we will work on a concept of vibrations and energy. You know, I personally believe that a person who is highly energetic and highly positive can take as much action in 2 hours, which person with low vibes or low energy would take in 20 days, right?
Hmm.
So we understood their problem. We gave them real time solutions. as to how we are managing our energy, what can they do to basically grow personally in their lives, right? And when we were able to manage their energy, that's when they were able to take a lot of action, and that's when the results came. So it was a challenge, but it was also a blessing, because along with SEO and business, we were also able to tell them how to manage their vibrations, and how to get rid of these toxic thoughts. And that I think for me was our biggest win, and the biggest reason that separates Rank with Judge from any other SEO trainer in the world.
All right, got it. Exactly, like this vibration and everything. People take it very lightly, but it actually does impact. Even based on this, I like know this. अगर आपने KBC देखा हो तो the people who are basically very poor, even if they win a lot of money, they mostly go bankrupt uh, after a few years. That is because the world of inside uh, is more important. The world of outside is just a reflection of the world of inside. So feeling good from inside, having that mindset, right mindset, having those right vibes, energy is much more important, because making money is easier compared to getting like wealth and managing it. So for sure, that is something which is very good that you have incorporated it in your course. For sure, very good. And especially getting people to take action, and when people take action, that is only when they get results. So for sure, that is very insightful. So thank you so much for sharing that as well. All right. So, Gaurav, one more question. It is that, like, in Rank with Jags, do you teach everything from basics? So, like, if I have zero knowledge about SEO, can I enroll and get my way up?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, first class, our first class is about getting your website up, about domains, about hosting, about putting WordPress website on it, about journey of blogging, the biggest mistakes that SEOs make, myths in the blogging world. So yeah, it's totally from basics to the very final levels of execution. Where we teach them about expired domains, about PBLs, about the exact link building methods, the content methods that we use. So anybody can roll. I mean, we have we have students, we have housewives, we have people who go to jobs. We have
Mhm.
all kinds of people in our course, and I'm really happy to share that we have success stories in each and every sphere.
All right, got it. So, like for people who want to learn it, they have stuff like Rank with Jags to learn from. But for someone who wants to learn it like you did, what are some good books or content or places where they could learn it from? Like, how did
So,
you get your way up in SEO?
resources in SEO.
Mhm.
See, I just first of all I want to say that more than the right information in the market or on YouTube videos, there are people who are not authentic. So I understand that when a newbie wants to get into the market and they want to learn SEO or how to make money and how to help their families, they will definitely be distracted. When I started by reading quicksprout.com, which is Neil Patel's website or blog. Um,
Mhm.
that's where I started. But the most important thing is, I would say, first of all, you need to start implementing and taking action. I mean, as long as you're just seeing a WordPress video and you're like, this is how the plugins are used, this is how the WordPress video is used, that video is useless to you unless and until you actually buy a domain, host a website, and then you put WordPress on it. Just like that, if you learn that, okay, this is how I write an article on a keyword, you can learn it in 10 different ways. But as until and unless you have not written 50 articles from your own hands, you do not become a writer, right? So I think I have learned mostly by implementing. I was fortunately analytically very smart, so I was able to figure out things. And special credits to my mentors who were always there for me whenever I see. The problem is, everybody knows how to rank a website. You can find an article, but when you're actually doing it and you get a problem, there should be somebody who is readily able to help you, and that help might take only 30 seconds, but you'll at least be able to figure out that, okay, this is where I was going wrong, and this is how I need to get to the next step.
Hmm.
So I think stick to Stick to learning from authentic people. Do not read too much. Do not participate in Facebook group conversations. Just observe. uh, Try to have a mentor who can solve your problems in real time. That will basically speed fast your journey. And then take a lot of action. If you take a lot of action, I'm telling you, people rank with spammy backlinks. Like, of course, they rank for a few months and then their websites vanish in rankings, but they take action. And with that money, they would, basically buy some mentorship and they will learn advanced strategies.
All right, got it. Yeah, that's very true. आज की डेट में we have so much information, but जितना information बढ़ रहा है उतना ही लोग ज़्यादा देख रहे हैं, but people are not taking action. Plus, even I have noticed this. Once you just start, फिर जो problem आती है, you can try finding its solution. फिर तुम्हें वो topic भी आ जाएगा अपने आप में. तो that is very good. But one thing that people face when learning everything from scratch is curriculum. They don't have a set defined curriculum कि इसके बाद में ये टॉपिक पढ़ना है, एंड दैट इज व्हेन कोर्सेज कैन एक्चुअली हेल्प अ लॉट. इट सेव्स टाइम एंड इट saves that effort and energy which goes into finding the right resource. So that is why I think courses can also help a lot for someone who is just starting out. Well, based on that, you have so many students in like in so many categories. You have students, you even have housewives in your course, people who are working in jobs. So like what is it which you feel like the most rewarding thing? Because see, that money you make out of course is nothing compared to how much value you provide or how much you make from your other businesses. So it is definitely not in main income source for you. But what is it which inspires you to get up every day and work on it and take those weekly Wednesday classes which you just mentioned?
I mean, see, there are two things. When you do an SEO course, uh, you can only work on certain number of websites and projects yourself. So right now we are working on 5 projects actively, right? But when I am in contact with 500 students, you know, I can see the entire journeys of 500 websites. So think about how much I am learning from their experiments, from correcting them, from improving their strategies. I have been exposed to so many websites, so many expired domains, so many correct and incorrect ways of link building. So I think on the personal front, it has immensely helped me to basically gain an unfair advantage over my competitors, where I have basically exposure to hundreds of niches, right? And I can learn, I can improve, I can grow myself. Which those experiments which I cannot do myself, because this is like we are talking about, a mass experiment. But uh, on a personal front, I think there's this student in our course who joined almost 6 months back, and he was making 15,000 rupees a month from his job. I think he was an intern in some digital marketing agency, and he came to our course. He learned a few things. He came to the personal growth sessions, and within 2 months, he was able to switch to a 45,000 rupees job per month. Right? He sent me a message, and that message was like, Gaurav sir, you have changed my life. I used to spend all my money and still it was not enough to pay my bills. And now I'm able to save 20,000 rupees a month, right? And that basically says a lot. I mean, if you're able to bring that real change in even one person's life, like in real, there was this there's this guy from Punjab who was making 30 to 40,000 rupees a month, and he saw our client sessions, and he got a couple of clients, $500 each, and now he has left his job. He's comfortably making 70 to 80,000, and you know what, he messaged me and he said that I had a lot of pressure from my parents. मेरे फैमिली वाले मुझे सुनाया करते थे कि तू यू आर लाइक 35 and you are not making enough money for yourself, and you have literally changed my life. So when we see these kind of changes happening in people's lives real time, and these are not some psychological, some philosophical changes. These are real changes in their entropy, in their bank balance, in their in what they're eating, what they're wearing, and how they're spending their lives. That is the most beautiful thing, and I think that's what makes us wake up every day, do 3 sessions in a week, and to give our best, and to teach same thing again and again, again and again, because we know that there will be one person who will actually implement it, who will change their lives, and who will remember us for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, definitely. These messages are worth more than any amount of money or anything. Definitely, it would be very motivating even for you. So that is very good. Plus, around this, I have heard it कि SEO changes almost, like SEO is very dynamic, so it changes very frequently. New changes are being made, and इसी वजह से a lot of people say कि blogging is not as viable option now. And not just blogging or SEO, in general anything which is old, people keep saying कि video editing में अब कुछ नहीं रखा है, हर कोई video edit करने लग गया है. So what is your say on this particular thing कि this thing is saturated or this thing is changing so you cannot make money out of it? What is your say on specifically blogging, let's say? So what's your say on that?
I mean, I would say that if there is somebody who is saying that SEO is dead, I would like to tell them that yeah, SEO is dead. Leave the industry, go back to your home, and that will mean less competition for us and more money, right? So
Hmm.
I would just I would just tell them that yeah, man, SEO is dead. But to be on a sincere side, uh, SEO has flourished in the last few years like nothing before. The CPC is increasing. People are getting more and more access to fast speed internet. The businesses are turning online. The advertisers' budgets are increasing. They want to pay you more for the same thousand people that they paid earlier, because people's paying potential is increasing. If you go to H&M today and you plan to buy a t-shirt, you will never come just buying that. Maybe you will pick up a pair of socks. Maybe you will buy a trouser or a sweater. That's why with increasing paying potential, SU is like a multi-billion dollar industry. We are making good money for ourselves. Our students are doing great. So when you have these kind of proofs live in front of you, you don't want to go to some blog and ask them, hey, is SEO dead? I mean, bro, okay, it's dead. I'm making good amount of money. I'm happy. I'm doing well for myself. My students are doing well for myself. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of scope. 2024, 25, 26. I can assure you that uh, like SEO can bring a lot of money in anybody's life if you're ready to basically practice the fundamental knowledge again and again, to implement that knowledge and to take a lot of action. It's very easy to be in your head and think like, oh, SEO is dead, why should I take action? Then why is that guy in a brand new car and he makes website? Why is that guy purchase another property with using SEO? Why are so many people talking about it?
Yeah, exactly. Even in all the fields, it is very necessary. See, internet is going nowhere. It is only increasing day by day. Businesses are coming online, so the scope is always going to increase. But even with the increasing saturation in the market, it is actually good for people who actually know how to do SEO. तो जितने भी लोग आएंगे, most of them, see, 90, hard truth, 98% of the people, they just know SEO is search engine optimization, थोड़ा सा पता होता है and they think कि I know this. बट जितने ज्यादा ऐसे लोग आएंगे जिनको एक्चुअल में SEO आता है, उनका वैल्यू उतना ही बढ़ेगा एंड पीपल वुड एक्चुअली बी रेडी टू पे मोर एंड मोर फॉर द skilled person. So definitely putting in the time, taking in action is going to be valuable in any field, not just SEO, blogging, video editing, anything. It is good for people who are actually into the field and who are experts, for sure. So like you told us ki you are very focused, you don't touch your phone for useless tasks during the day, and that is how you manage your time. Can you give us a brief insight on a typical day in your life from starting, like आप कितने बजे उठते हैं, when do you go to bed, when do you go to office? Can you share that as well?
Okay. To be honest, I wake up between 8 to 9 a.m. Uh, I do my music class. I'm learning Indian classical, from my
Mhm.
guruji, and then I go to my yoga class. We start our day before coming out of bed. We meditate and we do EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique. So there's like this tapping we do, and so our day starts with a lot of focus on our energy and our health. We sometimes We cook our own breakfast. We always start our day with uh, green tea, some protein, some fats, and then a coffee, right? So yeah, and then I just take a bath, sit to work, uh, complete all my to dos and tasks, and 7:30 I just get up off my table. I We take our little dog Genie for a walk, and after that we spend some personal time. We watch some Netflix, and I definitely love to read books. So 30 minutes every day I have to read, and right now
Hmm.
I'm doing like 10 to 10:30. As soon as I have read, we have our dinner and we go to bed, right? What I'm focusing on here is, see, we have been gifted with a beautiful field where you don't need to do labor in order to make money. You don't need to gisaw yourself for 10 to 12 hours if you want to make money. Even if your 2 hours a day are productive, you can be a millionaire. You know, if your brain is working in the right direction, if your creativity is at the top, and if you focus on your wholesome growth, wholesome energy, right? Your 2 hours of work can make you a millionaire, and that's what we have been focusing on. We don't believe that if I spend like 10 hours every day, 7 days a week, that's only how my business is going to flourish. No, it is about that one moment where in my best energy I get that inspired idea, I make that inspired move, I take that action which was which I would have never taken if I was not working on my energy, right? So yeah, I'm focusing my day on my work, completing my to-dos for sure, but always taking care of my health, always working out. Like right after this webinar, I have a basketball game. I'll take my protein. I'll go to basketball. I'll come take a bath. I'll moisturize my full body. I'll do my skincare, and then I will take Jeannie for a walk. So basically, I think that. The modern business is not about sowing yourself, it's about becoming the person who deserves that kind of success. And when you mentally, physically, spiritually deserve that kind of success, then success finds you.
All right. So, like, for anyone who is starting out, see, you have developed everything. Definitely, in starting, it would have been rough, right? Itna smooth nahi hoga jitna it is at this day. Because, see, even if you face some challenges, you do have a team, you do have experience from your past 13 years. But for someone who is just starting out, how would you recommend them uh, to manage their time, to manage their productivity? Also, like, would you recommend people to pick on different projects, multiple projects at the same time, or would you recommend that they should get something built up first and then move on, like you do with Ripple and with like Rank with Jags and all that?
I mean, when you're just starting off, it's never a good idea to start multiple projects. This is one mistake that I have seen people doing. They think that if they make 10 websites, then one of them will work out, right? It never works like that. You have to pick one project. You have to focus your good 2 to 3 months, 4 months, 5 months on that very project. Make sure that it ranks. Because even in business, when you pick one idea and you make it work, you know what happens to your confidence? It skyrockets. It's like I work on an idea, I pick it up, I put my creativity in my work, and it makes money, right? That's
Hmm.
why I think it's important to not spread yourself in different directions. And when you're just starting off in SEO or in business, I think you should really first make an environment for yourself at home or in office which is clean, where you have a table and a chair, where you know you don't have to disbalance yourself in order to make money. When people tell me that my mind works from 12 to 6 at night, that's how you have trained your mind to be. And maybe
Hmm.
you're making a little bit of money right now because you're fucking with your body cycle, but that will hurt you later on. When I turned 25, I had dry eyes. My lower back, my lumbar was like, totally spoiled. I had low energy, and from 25 to 30, I have just focused on undoing what I did to my body in the first 25 years. So
Hmm.
you should like going into an imbalance where you're not waking up on time, and when you're not telling yourself, right now what are my productive hours. My most productive hours mentally are 12 to 6 p.m, 12 noon to 6 p.m, because that's how I've trained my body to, right? So I think focus on your health. Don't believe that more number of hours will make you rich. And when you're just starting, start with one project, give it your best. When you have done fair justice to it, then you move on to, move on to the next one. And one very very important thing is, if you want to make it big, then you need to have a team. You can't do it alone. Like when my office hour starts, first of all I have a meeting with my co-founders, and then I have a meeting with my developers team, and then I have a meeting with our writers and SEOs, and that's when I start doing my own job, because I know that as long as I have trained my team and I have kept them busy, they are going to continue making money for me because of the systems I have established, right? And that's why I do believe that the power of team should be utilized. You need to have somebody who is a great partner. You need to have somebody who will uh, write content for you. But when you're just starting off, you definitely need to have some bootstrap money, some funds, and to make that fund, yeah, घिसो मतलब जितना घिसना है घिसो, but not at the sake of your health and your mental peace.
All right, got it. So, like you told us about this, having a team and all is very important. Having a good communication with the team is also very important. Uh, so, Google Sheets also helps a lot in that, like managing everything and all. Even like it has a lot of potential now. I was on a podcast with someone. So, what they created was they included app scripts in Google Sheets, and within a few hours it would create you hundreds of SEO ready SEO ready
Titles.
content. Yeah, based on ChatGPT, it went through like 20 prompts, and it would make you content for SEO, like content which is ready with SEO and all that. तो गूगल शीट्स के बारे में what would you say? Should people invest a lot of time on that? Should people learn it? How can they utilize the power of Google Sheets to manage a team? What it takes to be a good leader in general and having a good communication with the team?
I think that I am a I'm a person who has always loved my spreadsheets. I mean, if somebody gives me a spreadsheet where there's like two different fonts on the tab, when there's like a different font sizes, when things are not looking aesthetic, that's when I totally judge them. I'm like, if your spreadsheet is not looking good, if you're not presenting your things in the right way, then I'm not impressed. And I don't let anybody touch my spreadsheets. They have to be built in a certain way. The data has to look in a certain way that makes sense to my mind. So yeah, I've been using spreadsheet for the last 10 years, and they we use it to basically manage all our projects, our domains, our postings, our product logins, our we use spreadsheets for our content, for our link building, each and everything, because they are so easily collaborated. You easily, you can share it. 100 people can work at the same time on the same spreadsheet, right? So you need to have data, yeah. I mean, 10 years back, if I was working on a website and that website made me certain kind of money, right? I was working on those keywords. If I still have those keywords with me, that will give me so much of advantage. If I have the if I know that this is where I'm spending my money, and these are the places which are giving me results, these are the places that are not giving me results. All that I manage with spreadsheet, we create like pie charts, data graphs, each and everything, and it's very very easy to to just empty your brain, write down all your ideas, write down all your to dos, empty your brain, pick one thing and then start working on it. So I think that's why spreadsheet, they play a great role in I think every business's lifetime.
All right, thank you so much for your insights on that as well. Now जैसा आपने स्टार्टिंग में बताया you were in NIT, it is also a very big college, like a dream for a lot of students as well. So based on that you could have had a career in that side too, right? So how did your life turn around in such a way, and how did you create something so big? Were there any people behind it who gave you advices, and what was the best advice that you got related to your career life that you would like always try to admire, always try to give credit to ki, this was the person who told me this and this changed my life?
I think I've learned a little bit from everybody. And it is definitely a great institute. And although I have dropped out, I will not. I will not recommend anybody to drop out, because the kind of things that they teach there, and it requires a lot of patience. I mean, to learn coding, to learn those little bit of intricacies of everything, how you write a code, how you develop a software. That is that is the biggest superpower that somebody can have. Now we have developers. Now we have people who would make any kind of product possible in the world. But if you have a co-founder like that in the team, that makes a huge impact. And I think that anybody listening to the podcast who is doing a degree, I think that if you can continue and complete it, if you are really interested in learning the craft. But if you're not learning the craft, and if you're also just like wasting your time going to the classes doing nothing about it, then you choose something that really interests you, right? And the best advice I have gotten is that you need to get out of your head and you need to execute. you know an imperfect execution is way better than a perfect thought or an idea. you know
Hmm.
People stay in their head all the time, they don't execute, they don't take action, and they're just like, why things are not working out for me. You need to get out of here. You need to just do 10% of work from here, and then 90% should be execution, and that's how you'll get results. That's what I've used in the past 5 years, and that has produced amazing results for us.
All right, so taking action is very important. Along with that, like I would like to ask you to give advice to the people watching, especially the younger generation. Along with it, I had a question like, see, suppose you are learning coding from a college. It would go for like 3 years or 4 years in engineering. I'm not sure. But I'm not sure. Maybe if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But you could learn the same thing in like 6 months at your home by enrolling in a course or something if you are genuinely interested, if you are disciplined about it. So, would you not recommend people to learn it themselves rather than going into the college and just learning it for the sake of examination? क्योंकि जब तुम examination के point of view से पढ़ोगे वो चीज़, एंड जो तुम एक खुद का प्रोजेक्ट बनाने के लिए पढ़ोगे कोई कोडिंग से सीखे, those things I think are different from the inside itself, from the mindset itself. वो एक सीखने का नजरिया ही बदल जाता है. तो what is your thought on that, plus an advice that you would give to the younger generation?
I mean, if you talk about a college like NIT, they have great lecturers. They have people who really know their work, know their field. So, if you're learning online from somewhere, there will not be a constant support system, and
Hmm.
that's why it's different. But I think college life is not just about learning the technology, the technical stuff. It's so much more about learning about people, participating in those extracurricular activities, having a having a good social life, making good friends. Like I have so many friends from NIT Kurukshetra. So many of them are placed in Google, Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. You name the company, and I have friends in those. And having those kind of connections, where if I get a problem in anything, I just pick my phone and I do a phone call like, यार ये इसमें दिक्कत आ रही है, मुझे बता कैसे होगा, right? And I will get an expert advice. That kind of networking is not possible directly learning from the courses.
Hmm.
But of course, if somebody is really really dedicated, they can definitely learn and become a very good coder. But I still think that learning from a good college where they have good professors, where they have experienced staff to help you, is definitely better. And you spend those 3 to 4 years in learning. You get time to implement, you get time to learn. That that pushes you so many years, ahead in your life. When you get down to the career, when you get down to the ground and you start working, uh, you will have no competition, because for 4 years you were just in your college, in your classes, in your hostel room, and you were just practicing, you know and whenever you had a problem, you had like a friend to go to. So yeah, that's what my opinion is. I definitely miss my college, and I miss that I did not complete my education. But fortunately, I was able to find business, and I was able to find gaming and SEO, that so I don't, like I don't feel so bad about it.
All right, got it. Plus, for the maybe let's say 18-year-olds or 20-year-olds watching you and who want to do something extraordinary or something different from the rest, who want to go on a path like yours, who want to build something big, who want to build themselves as a person, who want to build themselves as a name, what is a recommendation that you would give? Like, should they take a risk? Should they make it their first priority, या फिर should they take it as a plan B, या क्या plan B रखना चाहिए, या फिर always just have a plan A and put everything on that? What is your thinking about that?
I mean, I never had a plan B. I only had just one plan, that I'm never going to do a job. I will always work on my own things, and that work for me. What I want to say is, get more and more industry experience. I mean, if you do a job in a company, or if you're doing something of your own, it's very important to get on the ground and basically do that groundwork, learn that skill, make mistakes, take action, implement. If you are just 18 right now, there's a whole life in front of you. Spend the next few years learning about your industry. If you're in a business, and I think running a shop is much better than doing an MBA. If you can actually, start a shop, you can actually sell things. You learn about customer experiences, you learn about customer psychology, you learn about product, you learn about marketing, branding, each and everything that a college will not be able to teach you as well. So I think doing getting on the ground, and working, and maybe associating yourself with the right kind of people who give you that kind of exposure, is very important in the initial years.
Yeah, definitely. Like groundwork, fieldwork experience is very important. I learned this thing myself जब मैंने ड्रॉप शिपिंग के बारे में सीखा. तो what they told was, यहाँ से product उठाओ, यहाँ बेच दो, ये कर दो. And when you get into that thing, what you see is a whole different level of things. There are so many technicalities that you need to get into. So yeah, definitely that is very important. And now, like, I would just ask you a few more questions. One of it is ki, who are the people you look up to? Can you name three inspirations of yours? Because see, clearly after this conversation I have added you as one of mine for sure. So like, who were those few people that you look up to, that motivate you and inspire you?
I mean, overall in the world of business, and in the world of making money, in the world of gaming, and I'll also give you a very good example from the world of music. Because when we talk about entrepreneurship, we are like, there should be a business that should be making money. There should be like a product, and that's how you become an entrepreneur, right? But entrepreneurship can also be about using your skills and your talent to turn it into something so good that it becomes commercial,
Hmm.
where you make good money. The first person that really inspires me in India is Nitin Kamant, uh, the Zerodha's founder.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I mean, he has managed to build a profitable company in such a big bunch of companies that are just burning cash. I mean, for me, the from day one, what I've learned from business is, if you're not making money, from the get go, then it's not business, right? And he has definitely inspired me. by building such a such a big brand, by using technology in the best possible way. I mean, I went to the 10 years back. I went to an office that was of angel broking. It was angel brokerage, and they used to charge some certain 1 or 2% kind of percentage on every rupee that you basically trade with them, right?
Hmm.
What was the size of their employees office? As big as my chair. There were like these small compartments. People were people were like shouting. People were like trying to convince clients, and they were trying to sell everything. This guy, he has picked such an unorganized industry where the consumers were literally scared of picking calls, because this the broker will ask you to basically
Hmm.
invest in a certain stock, and you might lose, but he'll motivate you. And he's turned it into such an organized sector. Now they charge you per trade. I think 15 or 20 rupees per trade, they charge you a set amount, and that has given huge convenience to. Yeah, so I love him for creating this kind of business. And the second person that I'm actually, that's a group of co-founders by the company of Iron Source founders. This is basically a gaming monetization company.
Hmm.
Why am I inspired from them is because in their initial years
Hmm.
they did everything it was required to basically make their own money. They started with the PPI model, and then they went into app monetization and then gaming monetization. They did everything to make their own money, and then they bought other smaller companies. If I have to,
Acquisition.
if I have, yeah, acquisition, if I have to start from scratch and I want to build fast, first of all I should have funds, and then I should have the data.
Hmm.
I should have those buyers, those clients. They started acquiring those companies. I mean, anybody should go to their website, and they should read their journey. And their founder, Mr. Tomer Barzeev, he's so fit, he's so good looking. He's, I think, 42 or 43 right now. Their company was listed on New York Stock Exchange a few years back, and
Hmm.
I was like so happy because somebody from our field, from monetization, gaming, apps, PPI, they went and listed their company in US. So that's, and from the music industry, because I myself, I sing, I pursue music, I learn Indian classical. Dr. Satinder Sartaaj, he is basically a Sufi singer, a poet, and a writer and a musician from India. Uh, he does these huge live concerts,
Hmm.
live shows, and he has an audience that's mostly like 40 plus years of age.
Hmm.
Uh, this is an audience that can really spend, and this is a person who has really, really understood and accepted the concept of energy and vibrations. When you when you sit in his concerts, when you look into his eye and when you are like listening to his music, you feel so energized, you know and that's because he is taking all that energy from the universe, from the from the source, from the from his own work on himself. So the way he has transformed the industry, where people only used to have like small stage shows, they used to have like private concerts. Now he's doing the biggest and the most selling concerts on Book My Show. You know, from a poet to a singer to somebody who does so many successful live shows. Uh, he's also one of the best entrepreneurs that I have seen and I have met from the music industry. And I think these three people are on the top of my list when we talk about really inspiring people.
All right. So thank you so much for that. Now, before we pack this up, I would like to have final few words of wisdom from you, plus your say on the next 5 years in SEO and in this industry, plus tips for anyone who is trying to get into this.
Um, in the next 5 years, in SEO, what's going to happen is, first of all, Google is only going to rank brands. if you have a if you have a dull looking website where you are where not you are not generating original high quality content for your users, when you are not thinking about your branding, your vision, your overall design, your how you interact with your customers, then your website is not going to rank. So
Hmm.
coming going into the next 5 years, SEO is all about branding. SEO is SEO is all about real brands. And if you really want to survive, then you have to focus on all the channels that make a website a brand. You should have videos on YouTube. You should be active on Reddit with your brand. You should be on Quora. You should be on social media. You know, SEO alone will not be enough. You have to create a brand around it, and that's how Google will like you. It will rank your website. It will love you, and the future, the upcoming generation, millennials and billionaires, they are going to come from the SEO industry. Every other business, every booming business is utilizing SEO, is utilizing the keyword research and their search engine skills in order to get this targeted audience. So I think SEO has a has a great future. It's going to be there for a very very long time. And if you want to really be successful, then start doing your groundwork from right now. Start learning. Stop listening to people who say that SEO is dead, because believe me, SEO has just started, and it's going to make the billionaires and millionaires of future generations. And you have to be on that car, or that plane when it takes off.
All right. Thank you so much for your valuable time and insights on that. It was really great to have you on the podcast. Plus, it would be very valuable for all the viewers as well. Thank you so much for watching. That is it from our side.